What's going on, world? Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Man, June is already almost done. It's crazy. June is already almost done. Q2 is ending. We're about to head into quarter three. Yeah, it's happening. The year is moving. Definitely let us know how your goals are coming along. Are you still working on the things that you said that you were working on in the beginning of the year? What's going on, sis? We miss you too. Great to see you on. Go ahead and drop those wins or those gratitudes for the week. Go ahead and drop those wins or those gratitudes for the week. But yeah, man, we're coming up to the end of Q2. How's the progress going with your goals? How are those things going? T, what's happening?
What's happening? What's going on this Turn It Up Thursday? Somebody over there
Oh
traveling. Where
yeah.
you at today?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Definitely on the move. I'm out in Orlando today. Out in Orlando. Let me see if I can get you a little view here. We're out here for
Oh,
a tournament. So
oh,
that's the convention center that we've been playing at for the last 5 days. That's some theme park over there. I don't know, maybe Disney World or Universal. I don't know which one, but something over there.
man, that's
Yeah.
beautiful. That's beautiful. It looks
Let me
amazing. How's the weather out
let
there?
me tell it was just pouring raining. Like it was just pouring raining. It's hurricane season out here. So it's like at any given moment you can end up in a storm at any given moment. Man, talk about that. When we're talking
Man,
about life and personal development and business at any given moment, the
yeah,
atmosphere and environment can shift.
yeah. Well, we're glad you are safely out there with everybody and adding value to the lives of others. Let's get into some gratitude. So, what you got for us today?
Uh, absolutely. Absolutely. What's up, Carly? I see you on. Go ahead and drop those gratitudes or those wins for the week. Yeah, for me, it's going to be time freedom. For me, it's going to be time freedom. This month has been, it's had some unexpected challenges and things that I did know about when it came to travel. So just being able to be in control of my time and, really work on that family pillar and being able to support Leslie with her teams. We're at this team bonding event right now with the girls and their parents. And so just really appreciating and grateful for that time freedom for sure.
Mm,
What about you?
mm. That's good. That's good. I am super grateful for grace.
Mm.
Just super grateful for
You've
grace.
been over
You know,
there acting out.
no, actually, I haven't, but I think the beauty of it is I've been waking up and I've been saying, I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for
Yeah.
that. I'm grateful. And just getting into the routine of starting the day out with an extreme high. So that's been really, really phenomenal because Lord knows I've been crazy as hell for the last
Yeah.
10, 20, 30 years.
Uh-huh. I believe it. I believe it. Let's see. Carly said gratitude, sunshine, my health, feeling in alignment. Man, that's good. That's
Oh,
good.
beautiful,
Wins,
beautiful.
follow up queen this week. Hey, come through. Come through. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and replicate that. Let's put, a couple systems or a couple routines around those follow-ups that have been working for you for this week. Uh, to
Yeah,
be to be able to go ahead and maximize what you're doing and scale. I
yeah.
love it. Thank you for sharing.
This has been good because I was having a conversation and someone was they were just dogging out the homeless people, right? And I was like, you kind of you have to be careful who you dog out because you never know who you're dogging. And
Mm,
let me give you let me give you an example, Ash. Um, wh- when we were growing up in the city, there was this homeless guy that we had met probably when we was around 8 or 9 years old.
Yep.
But we got to know him over 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And his name was Reuben. I
Mhm.
forget his last name. Reuben Bolin, I believe. And every day, you know, sometimes we would cap on him. Sometimes we'd be like, "Oh yeah, there's a homeless dude," just doing what teenagers do. We never did anything bad to him, but the perception of this dude is homeless, and he can't tell us nothing. He always walked around with a Bible and a fifth of liquor.
Hmm.
Listen to what I'm saying. He walked around with a Bible and a fifth of liquor, always kind of giving a little advice and everything else, and a good word. And a few years later, we heard that he was killed in the parking lot, and we was like, "Oh, that's what happened to Ruben. He got killed. He got stabbed
Mhm.
in the middle of the night." Well, do you know that in the San Francisco Chronicle, they did an article on this homeless dude.
Mhm.
Come to find out, this dude was an all state high school All American.
Wow.
He went to Grambling University and he ended up playing for the Harlem Globetrotters in the 1950s. This dude was an all-star player, but somehow his systems, his routines got caught up in life.
Mm.
So that's what we're talking about. Like, you and I can't be uh, um, overly confident because you never know when the winds will change.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and you never know when you start ratting on somebody else, like who that is. I remember when I got into real estate and this old bummy dude walked in the door and the manager was like, "Well, somebody go and help him." The entire office is like, "This dude is bummy." The,
Yeah.
so we had the new agent go out and talk to this client. Do you know this bummy dude,
Multi-millionaire.
multi millionaire?
Yeah.
He sold 7 properties with this new agent. And I said, "Oh, I will never,
Yep.
ever, ever judge someone based on their appearance, but rather in their character and who they are."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and I just feel like that ties in a little bit to what we talked about last week with perception, right? How you see others, how others see you, how you see yourself, and that kind of falling into that space. And so that's definitely a big lesson that you learn for sure.
100%. So, the lesson for today is for us to start looking at our life systems and where we are weak and where we are strong. So think about it this way. Think about a triangle in terms of our lives. And our lives is like a triangle. Up up on the top, we have our mission, our mantra, and who we are. On the left side of the triangle is execution. On the right hand side is environment.
Mm.
Inside of the triangle is the word purpose. Okay?
Mm.
You see
Oh,
where I'm going?
this some new you got cooking up. Okay. Yes.
You because everything is starting to come full circle. Like literally, we have to be mindful of the execution of where we are going in life, and is our life systems supporting what we are looking to accomplish.
Okay.
So so let's talk about some life hacks. Are
Yeah.
there any areas in your particular life that you need life hacks on?
Well, I was just thinking about, the presentation that you did about the 100 life systems. And I know we're going to talk about, three of those main points. So I wanted to see, where you were going to go with that, and kind of what kind of focus you had. Because I don't, like, before that, I don't think that I knew that there were, this many systems available to you. I'm sure I've been participating in, the majority of them most of my life, but really being able, to identify, when it comes to business, the different systems there are, when it comes to interacting with people, the different systems there are, and just, how valuable that is and what that looks like.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. Many of us work at some business or whatnot, and they give us a standard operating procedure manual. They tell us how we need to work and be efficient, and or if you have temporary issues, go to the manual chapter 6
Yeah.
and read through that to figure out what the problem is to be able to get the project or the work done. So, why haven't we created an operational procedure manual for ourselves? Why haven't we created systems that makes us epic
Yeah.
on a day-to-day basis? Why do we go through these emotional roller coasters that leads us into depression and anxiety? It's it really is simple, but not easy. Okay.
Yeah.
So over the last 20 years, I realized there is 372 systems, plus or minus, depending on whether or not we have children and all the other stuff, that we should be systemizing in our own life so that we can recognize our blind spots in where we're going. Okay.
All right. Yeah, we're not doing 365 today. Let's see what are the top three that we need.
Yes. So the top three that we need out of the gate in terms of being systematic is, in fact, number one, our mission and our mantra statement.
Yeah, I agree.
Now I know now I know you have one. Do you still have one?
Absolutely. I'm disciplined, consistent, and demanding of myself.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I am disciplined, consistent, and demanding of myself.
Oh,
Yeah, there was a little
that's
motorcycle I was going
oh,
by.
that's good. You've actually shortened it down,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and you did that because
Those are the things that I need to be and become in order to scale in the different areas that I'm in.
okay, good. So the number one thing that you and I need to have in our life systems out of the gate is a mantra. But you can't do a mantra until you start diagnosing your awareness of exactly who you are. Okay, we're not getting into that today. We're going to do that at a later point. But the second system that you and I need immediately is a schedule that includes fix and flex. You remember that?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So a fixed schedule basically is allowing us to align ourselves with our mantra so that we can replicate the activities that we just talked about in the triangle.
Yeah, and I think that for me, this was probably one of the biggest ones, right? Like being able to set a schedule, create a schedule, implement a schedule, set it and stick to it. Just because like my natural behavior and tendencies, I tend to be all over the place before being disciplined, consistent, and demanding of myself. And so, being able to really create that structure and hang out with people who are structured, like, oh, if it's not on the calendar, then I don't know, like, it's not happening. Like, that's how structured they are. And so, really being able to adopt that allowed me to take things to the next level, not only in my business, but also my personal life as well.
That's good. That's real good. A client of mine who works at Carvana, she was talking about life hacks. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
life hacks can be done this way. Let's say every day you leave your parking lot or your work, and you always turn left, leaving work, and that leads you into McDonald's. God forbid that that leads you into McDonald's.
Ouch.
But a life hack, but a life hack would say, okay, you know what? Let me switch up going left out of the office and let me go right.
Yeah.
We have to start identifying the life hacks that leads to triggers in our own personal life, and only you and I know that because it becomes a trigger. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you know what? I need to stop, right? We got to find the life hacks that is going to allow us to be able to actually do that on a consistent basis. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah, nah, absolutely. So number one, we have mantra, right? Making sure that you have a mission and a purpose and a mantra. And then number two was the schedule, a fix and flex schedule, right?
Yep. Making sure that you and I have a fixed and a flex schedule. Now if we have a fixed schedule but life happens, then we have to come up with a flex schedule. What's a flex schedule? A flex schedule is priorities.
Mm-hmm.
What are the priorities for the day? Okay. All right. That's good. We'll go deeper into that later at a later date. Number three, and this will be our last principle for today, is environment. Environment. Because even if you have these two and you're in a toxic environment, there's no elevation. There's no elevation to where you and I may be going. So we got to figure out and be honest with ourselves and say, where am I on a best version of myself being 10? Because if I'm a 3, I only need to get around 4 and 5s. If I'm a 6, then I just need to be around 7 and 8s. So we got to figure out what the environment needs to be in order for us to actually grow into and elevate naturally.
Yeah.
So remember when we started working out, like we weren't working out at Planet Fitness or 24 hours, which is nothing wrong with them. We were at an executive resort gym that
Yeah.
elevated the thinking and the environments and the people that we were dealing with on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
So so we have to identify what those environments are and where you and I need to be as often as we can be. If we are in a toxic environment, we got to find spaces that protects our peace in a manner that elevates into our operational procedures and our mantra.
Yeah.
So this is simple, but it's simple yet not easy because we get caught up. I think Ash sometimes is I heard E talk about the other day, standard versus having a goal. Like you have a goal, but you will um, massage your standards or your values or your principles because
Hmm.
you don't live a certain way and by which you're operating at the highest level. So we need to have a standard operating procedure by which we operate at the highest level, and we need to repeat those standards on a consistent basis to help you and I make better subconscious decisions that's going to help us elevate
Hmm.
at the highest level.
Yeah, and the thing about it too is that like when you're in it and when you're doing it, just taking that time to be able to document it so that you don't have to repeat that same process or come up with that same process. Like it's so important, and it could be, especially for flight attendants or pilots who are focused on the experience or just driven and getting the results. Like it could be like a time consumer or taking away from it, like it's a chore or it's something that's so hard to do. But in the reality of it, when you're able to do that, it allows you to go further faster because you already know what you're supposed to do when you encounter that environment again or that situation again. And so it's so important, even when it's not something that comes natural to you.
That's good. Good. I started off with just 3x5 cards because every time I got in the car, I wanted to check my voicemail, but I kept forgetting. So I created a 3x5 card that says, okay, when you get in the car, these are the things that you need to do before you take off.
Hmm.
Creating life hacks that creates the most valued activity that we need to be working on and working in to help us really kind of get to to exactly where we're going.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
So that's it for today. We only got 3 hacks that we wanted to share with you guys today to help you kind of recalibrate and really kind of look at your mantra, your execution, and your environment. It's better to be alone than to be in a toxic environment
Hmm.
until we get in a more positive environment and start getting others in that have very like minds that we're looking to go. It looked like the sunset is setting behind you too. It's actually
Yeah.
cool.
Hey, yeah, it may be a storm coming in. It's hurricane season out here, so it's been raining on and off like crazy, just like out of nowhere. It'll just start pouring down. So, yeah, it may be the sunset. It may be, some clouds, some clouds, storm clouds coming in. I don't know, but man. So, yeah. Let's see. Sandra said 100% facts. I mean, Sandra said 100% facts. That's good. Amen. Love it. Appreciate the comment, Peter. Man, we appreciate everybody for tapping in today. We hope that you were able to gain some value, some insight on these life operating systems and life hacks. Again, there's, what'd you say, 365, 372 300
So on
plus.
average, yeah, on average it's 372 systems
Hmm.
that is available to us that we deal with on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis. We just don't know them because we do them on a consistent basis. The question is it supporting us in our daily activities so that we can execute at the highest level? So, with that being said, we need to make sure that we start slowing down, create systems that really elevate us in some form or fashion, whatever that may be, because
Yeah.
there's no blueprint, but there is a recipe to help you get that granny's mac and cheese.
There it is. There it is. Well, we appreciate everybody for tuning us out.
So July the 1st is a class that we are igniting on July the 1st, Saturday, July the 1st, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Um, that's going to be a 4 week class. We're going to go a whole lot deeper into these systems and routines and life hacks that will be available if you want to kind of get more into it. But regardless, we all should be setting up our systems and knowing what that systems is so that we are aligning ourselves in the manner that we want to be the best version of ourselves.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So make sure to check out the link in his bio to get more information on that. We appreciate you all for tuning in every Thursday, 5 p.m. PST. You can catch us on here live. So if you got some value from this, make sure to share this with at least one or two people. And yeah, we just appreciate everybody for tuning in.
100%. Coach Ash, safe travels to you and everybody over there. Looking forward to seeing you real soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely appreciate you. Let's
All
win.
right, let's get it.